So, hi everyone. We've got a nice gathering tonight with French VCs, American VCs, and a good selection of 14 startups. Thank you to be here, and thank you to the people watching us on the live stream on Facebook. I want to give a special thanks to French founders, backed by La French Tech, for organizing such an event and bringing together community. So I'm Anna Casal, I'm a PR professional, and I've been helping French startups here in the US and in France, but also VCs. I'm very proud to be the Maître de cérémonie and very excited to hear from all the guests here. As a short introduction, I wanted to start by quoting two facts. The first one is that France's commitment to innovation is real. The country homes more startups than any other country in Europe. And the second fact is that one unicorn on two has been founded by an immigrant. So please keep those two facts in mind while you listen to the speakers tonight. Catherine, want to say a few words?
Thank you, Anna. Thank you all for being here tonight. So I'm Catherine Devèvre, the SVP Operation of French Founders. I'm very happy to have you here tonight, and I would like to thank our sponsors tonight for, first of all, Cooley to host us, then, of course, La French Tech, Microsoft, Frenchweb, Brimoncourt, and Outscale. We should have, I don't think she's here, but okay. Okay, that's perfect timing. I would like to thank Anne-Claire Legendre, Consul de France in New York, to join us tonight. Thank you for being here. French Founders, for those who don't know who we are and what we do, we are a French, we are an American company, but we are a network for French CEOs, C-level executives, entrepreneurs and investors around the world. We have more than 1,700 members around the world in more than 30 countries. And our goal is to help them improve their business by facilitating interaction and relationship between them. Anna, maybe I give you the floor back.
So here is the conference planning. First, we're gonna hear four pitch from the from four startups from the selection. They have 5 minutes each to convince you. And after each pitch, we're gonna take one question from the audience. You can ask the question either using the hashtag here or sending a text to this number. You can react during the conference with the hashtag, of course. During the second part, we're gonna split the room in two parts. The VCs and the startups, the selection of 14 startups, are going to make private sessions in the other room while we're invited to a cocktail, the rest of us, which is good too. But before we get started with the pitches, I want to welcome an investor from Bessemer Venture Partners. He invested in Criteo and in Dashlane. He works in the New York office. Please welcome Jordan Windmueller.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming tonight and having me. It's an honor to be included in this group of fantastic founders and entrepreneurs. I'm going to keep my comments very short because the companies that we'll be presenting have much more interesting things to say than I do. And I think the best use of time is meeting each other. But I am an investor in Bessemer Venture Partners. We are a global VC firm. We've been around for about 100 years investing in cutting-edge technology. What cutting-edge technology is has changed a lot in 100 years, as have we as a firm. We're now a global firm. We have 50 investors across the globe. I'm based in our New York office. We have teams in San Francisco, Boston, India, and Israel as well. And although we don't have a team based in Europe, we're quite active in the European ecosystem. Have a number of portfolio companies now based across both Eastern and Western Europe, and are particularly excited about the French ecosystem. So the reason that I was invited to speak tonight is that we've had a couple of fantastic experiences working with French companies. I am involved with a company called Dashlane, which is a consumer mobile password manager and secure wallet. It was founded by French entrepreneur Bernard Liautaud, who previously founded Business Objects. He had this idea for what's a fantastic product, and recruited a couple entrepreneurs and engineers from his alma mater to build the product. And while they're now based in New York, they still have a large product and engineering team in France. And it's been a pleasure to be involved with them. And we've also we led an investment in the company Criteo, which was building novel technology for personalized ad retargeting. Is still the global leader in this space. It's a company that's now worth several $1 billion, has 2,200 employees across the globe, and was fantastic to be involved with them. So we've had a couple of great experiences working with French companies, but are excited about the ecosystem for a number of reasons beyond that. We see an increasing number of really interesting startups coming out of France. We see an increasing number of events like this one, conferences in France, accelerators in France that are adding to the ecosystem and incubating exciting companies. There's obviously a fantastic engineering community coming out of the universities in France. And from an investment perspective, an increasing number of local French VCs and European and U.S. foreign VCs that are interested in injecting capital into the country. And there's increasing public support from the government, both for entrepreneurs and investors. And so for all these reasons, we continue to be excited about companies coming out of France, continue to always be excited to meet entrepreneurs coming out of France, both based here and in other countries. And excited to meet you all tonight and hear the pitches. So now I'll pass it along to the entrepreneurs who will be presenting.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you. So let's start with the pitch. The first pitch, it's David Loury, who's gonna come with us. He is traveling from San Francisco, and he's creating a new breed of private aircrafts.
Yes. Is that working?
I don't think so.
So I need to stay here. Yeah, I think more when I walk. Better.
Just give it 1 second. I think it should be okay.
Yeah, 1, 2. Yes, hi. So yeah, 5 minutes is extremely short. So I'm gonna do my best if you can count for me. I'm David Loury. I'm founder and CEO of a company called Cobalt. We are the only aircraft manufacturer based in the Silicon Valley. We're not technically, even though it's a lot of engineering that we do, and we've been around for 10 years now. So it's really a lifetime project that is coming to fruition right now. I'm going to show you a slide on what we do. The vehicle that we manufacture. Do you have a? Oh, sorry. So we manufacture what could be your future personal means of transportation. I'd be glad. It's an airplane called the Valkyrie. It's designed with post-iPhone era technologies and mindset. So it's really extremely simple to operate. It's made, so the vast majority of our leads are CEOs of small businesses, so I think I'm speaking to the right crowd. There's a lot of people that have dreamt about flying, about being able to go simply from point A to point B without being in an airline. But aviation has always been very technical, too complex basically. But that's because most concepts precisely have been developed in the 70s or the 80s, and we didn't have the influence of big entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, like Steve Jobs, like all those guys that inspired us all to make things that are more streamlined and more adapted to our use. We all have busy lives, and we don't have time to, except for the most passionate of us, not including me, to go train in the weekends and learn the procedures and all the complexities. So we're really pointing our efforts toward an aviation that is right now very forgiving. So bringing the safety of an airline to somebody who flies his own plane, that's really key. And then in a second era later, we'll have fully autonomous planes that can communicate with people on the ground and make sure that you can do your travel from New York to Miami or from San Francisco to LA to San Diego, whatever, independently from any weather, any constraint you can have, like a car, basically. So it's been a long ride. We've had our share of very difficult times, of hurdles, we've had obviously shortage of cash. The lack of cash is the mother of all other problems. So we've had, the demise of the team. We've had physical crashes, accidents. We've had all types of difficulties. We've had to change places. We went from France to Serbia to Canada, and we landed in California, where we are now. And we made our rollout party in San Francisco the 12th of November of 2015. And we had a tremendous press coverage, great traction, pretty flat curve of new incoming leads, but we have today a trend of 2 to 3 qualified leads per day. Every single day for a year we've had that, so we have a little more than $500 million in potential sales pipe, qualified sales pipe. Obviously, this comes with, we need 1 minute, okay. So you don't sell airplanes like you sell other products. It takes a lot of credibility. It takes a lot of time for the brand to infuse in the people's minds. And I am here today in New York. I've been lucky to be introduced to investment bankers who definitely want to put this plane in front of the New York Stock Exchange in 2 or 3 years from now. So we'll see how it goes. But we've been backed until now by seed money only. We've been warriors. We've been bootstrapping this company like hell. And I think we deserve now to get a good, powerful Series A, serious, smart money right here in the US to tackle this mainly American market. Thank you.
Thank you, David. We're going to pick up a question now. Kenza, do you have a question for him? We can take a question from the audience here.
No.
Gabrielle.
Oh.
How much do I sell it? How much does it cost me? I sell it $700,000, about between 6 and 7, but with customary options, about 700.
No. Wait.
How many customers do you think you have in a year, for instance? What's the target in terms of customers?
We won't be able to provide to the demand in any case. So, because we're the only new airframe in 30 years in general aviation. So, I mean, there's another one, but not in the same segment. So, right now we have a little more than 600 people who stated they wanted to buy the plane. And if we can provide 200 planes in the next 2-3 years, I'll be super happy already.
Thank you, David. Let's continue now with Thomas Marchand. He's coming from Boston, and he's going to present us his surgical training company. Please welcome him.
Hi, everyone. I'm Thomas, CEO and co-founder of Biomodex, which is a clinical training company, but we are not a medical device company, and we are not a biotech company, to be clear for the VCs, because sometimes it's scary. So, do you know that the medical errors are the third killer in the US after the cardiovascular disease and after the cancer? This is a lot of people dying, and that's bad, right? Fact, surgeons train directly on the patient, and this is a very high risk and a high cost for the whole society. There are a few alternatives. Then you can train on the cadaver, you can train on the animal, or train on the virtual reality, but these are not good solutions enough for the medical device industry, which is our client. The solution of Biomodex is to 3D print synthetic organs for this training. So the surgeon is basically doing the surgical procedure on this kind of model, which is a very sick aorta right here. And I'm very proud to announce the in vivo technology. We have few patents on this technology, and I will just show you an overview of the tech, which doesn't work because it's a PDF. So it's an amazing technology that we can recreate we can automate the composite materials to make the organ react exactly just like inside the body. So that's the tech. I can explain more if you're interested in this technology. And at the end, we have a 3D printed cartridge like this, and you can plug it inside the simulation environment you can see on the screen and do the whole surgical procedure and simulate exactly like on a real patient. We are relevant on the whole device life cycle, from the R&D to make the industry iterate more quickly, to go to the clinical training, because this is our focus right now. And we are the only company in the world who can make patient-specific models. So we go from the CT scan of Mrs. Johnson, and we 3D print the organ of Mrs. Johnson. So the surgeons can train the day before the operation on the anatomy of her patient to save risks. And we have business model that the industry will pay per clinician trained, because they are very comfortable with this model. And we guarantee that the training cost is recovered after the first device implantation, because again, the business model is to sell to the industry of the medical device. And the value proposition of Biomodex is to shorten the sales cycle between the first training of the clinician on the first medical device to the recurring device orders by 50%. That's very important for them. We have great traction on the market, a few pilots running with Medtronic, J&J, Stryker, all these big guys. And we are very prestigious scientific advisory board with these two amazing French professors known in the world. We've closed a Series A 3.8 in May, and we are looking for partners for the B series in 2018. Could be strategic partners or VCs, of course. Like I said, we are not a medical device company, so there is no regulation path, and we can go pretty quickly on the market. This is the C-level team, very young and dynamic, but of course we have high-level advisors from the medtech industry. And I just want to leave you with a real-life patient case. You can see here the medical imaging of a patient who was 60 years old, very tortuous anatomy. This is the brain arteries you can see on the screen. And you can see here the simulator in the cath lab, in the operation room, exactly just like a real patient. And he can do the catheterization, so he can put the medical device inside the artery, and at the end he can deploy the stent, which is a kind of mesh that can help to make the blood flow great again. And at the end you can expect the optimal treatment for the patient, of course, a lower risk and less complications. I'm Thomas Marchand, CEO of Biomodex, and we are enhancing clinical training.
Thomas, do you want to answer to a question, maybe? There's
So it's about 2 hours for the big organ, could be like half an hour for a smaller one, but the most important thing is that we have a turnaround of 5 days today to go from the medical imaging of Mrs. Johnson to the organ of Mrs. Johnson sent to the surgeon, but the target would be 2 days at the end. So we have 1 day of computation and 1 day of 3D printing, just close to the patient and close to the hospital, because that's the big thing with the 3D printing. You can have printers basically everywhere.
What's the range of procedures for which it's applicable? Is it cardiovascular stents only, or broader scope?
The main focus we have right now is cardiovascular, but we can have so much applications in the orthopedic field, ENT. We've done a lot of proof of concept, but right now, yes, the structural heart is our main focus with the valves, for example, which is a very big market, very fast-growing market.
Thank you. Thank you. And now the last company founded by David Foult, based in New York. It's an online marketplace, and I'm convinced as I'm already a customer.
Thank you.
Can I use a mic?
Oui, mais attends, pas celui-là. Où est-ce que je l'ai mis? Donne-lui 2 secondes. Voilà, c'est bon.
Thank you very much. So I'm David. I'm Try the World's co-founder and co-CEO. I arrived in New York 4 years ago, and together with my co-founder Katerina, who's American, we started Try the World, which is the next generation online marketplace for food. Together with an amazing team of crazy food lovers and culture rock stars, we built a brand that went from $400,000 in revenue to $15 million in revenue in 3 years, and we still have a long way to get the brands where it needs to be. So this brand is called Try the World. It's about being open-minded and about cultures. Today, the problem is that the next generation of consumers are busy and they're global. They don't want to go to supermarkets anymore, and they want to have access to great products at great price. They don't want low-quality mass market products which are pushed by mass marketing. Today you pay $8 for pasta or for coffee just because it's written Brazil or Italy on the package. Whereas the next generation is really looking for a way to shop smarter and a more convenient way to shop. The thing is that quality, affordable, packaged goods like tea, coffee, snacks, spices, etc. is there. It's being produced around the world by amazing mid-sized producers. The problem is that these producers, they fail every year when they try to access the US market because they don't know the regulation, they don't know the distribution, the marketing. So we have these thousands of amazing brands that want to access the US market, and you have a massive new generation that wants to learn and discover and buy and taste these products, but they can't. So we thought there must be a way to do this properly. So how do we plan to do that? How did we start to do that? We are relying on subscriptions and e-commerce. Subscriptions basically is that our subscribers every month received the most amazing, tasty products from around the world at home based on their preferences. And they can keep buying these products individually online on the online shop. So I won't go over the products in detail, but very briefly, we have one that's called a signature box. Every month you experience the most authentic, delicious products from a different country every time. It's a cultural experience that you enjoy with your family, with friends. The second one is called Healthy Snack Box. 94% of Americans snack every day. But usually the snacks are not that healthy, but the trend is that they want healthier products. So we source around the world the healthiest and tastiest products for them. The last one is called Pantry. It's a tech-enabled, personalized grocery shopping delivered to your doorstep. So in addition to these 3 subscriptions, we have the online shop where you can find 400 SKUs, and for half of them, we are the only distributor for these products. So as you can imagine, it's a business model that relies on recurring revenue coming from our subscribers. We're addressing a huge market. The specialty food market in the US is $120 billion. Everybody buys food every day. And what's interesting is that, together with apparel actually, these are the 2 fastest growing markets online today in the US. It's growing at double digits because our generation, the new generation, is buying more and more food online. The thing is that this industry is broken. The industry doesn't make sense. It's very, very fragmented, leading to low quality and high prices. So we actually invented a unique supply chain model. And Try the World's Chief Product Officer is actually in the room today. And what we're doing is we're basically revolutionizing the way people are shopping for food. We became something quite crazy industry we became an importer, a distributor, and a retailer. So it's a lot of work, but we are doing everything to be able to source directly from producers the most authentic products from every country and bring them directly to people's doorstep. That is saving 30% margin compared to traditional retailers. Okay, we've been focusing on execution so far. We've launched in 2013. I met my co-founder at Columbia in New York, and we grew very quickly from there. We've imported 5 million products from 25 different countries. We now have a bit more than 50,000 subscribers. We went from $400,000 in revenue in 2014 to 7.9 million in 2015, and are aiming to double this year and double next year as well. Our vision is to become the next online leader in specialty food. We're raising a large round of 10 million. We plan to break even cash-wise next year. Very briefly, if you guys ever take the subway, it may not be the right crowd for that, but if you guys take the subway and go to the World Trade Center, you'll see us twice, because we'll be everywhere in New York City, Chicago, and DC subways, and we'll have a pop-up store in front of Apple at the Oculus at the World Trade Center. Thank you very much.
So, any questions? We're gonna take one only. So, go ahead.
How do you mesh your product offering with carbon footprint?
That's a great question. So we are only shipping by boat. We try to really avoid air, and it's a key question because we're cross-border e-commerce, and everything relies on the fact that we're talking to foreign producers. So we need to be very careful about that. We actually do consolidation. So we consolidate shipments in different continents to try to be as efficient for cost reasons, but also for carbon footprint reasons. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, David. So I hope you enjoyed these 4 presentations. As you know, a committee worked very hard to select 14 startups. They are going with the VCs in the other room to do private sessions. Thank you for attending this conference. The next will be scheduled in March. It's time to say goodbye. Have a nice evening. Bye.